Hi everyone, welcome to week 7 of data journalism. This week we're going to cover sports graphics and Google Trends. We're going to cover sports graphics first. That assignment will be due on Friday, February 25th at noon. Again, if you're taking this class anytime outside of spring 2022, your deadlines will be a little different. And if you're doing the Google Trends assignment, which is our second video on here, that is due Monday, February 28th at noon. And that assignment is right here, and the video that walks you through everything is here. That's really your only homework for this week. There are 2 short articles here out of the Data Journalism Handbook, but those that Friday, February 25th assignment and Monday, February 28th assignment are the 2 big ones that are due. You will have next week off. Congratulations, because I'm such a nice guy. I'm giving you midterms week off so you can focus on midterms for your other classes. We don't have a midterm in here or a midterm assignment, but we do have these 2 assignments this week, which I guess, this one does spill over into Monday of midterms week, but you can always get it done early. Both of these projects will be tweeted to the UIC Digital hashtag, so make sure you've done that. All right, we're going to talk about sports data and building sports graphics. I need you to open 2 things. The Diggin' for Sports Data handout, which is in our Week 7 folder. It's linked right here off of our syllabus. And also the assignment sheet for it, which is right here, and it's also in the Week 7 folder. So hit pause and make sure you have those 2 documents open. All right, welcome back. Quick little tour of our class folder. Week 7, we've got our sports assignment and our handout here. Our Google Trends materials are here. I do have sports practice data up here, so make sure you have that folder open. It's a subfolder under Week 7. Sports practice data. It's got some data sets in here that we can use to build a graphic. The one I want you to download that we'll practice with is this one for Barry Bonds right here. I've got some others, the animated line chart, which we played around with in the Flourish class. Michael Jordan's average points per game in his career, a bunch of others. So just to download it, highlight it, go up here to the upper right, hit the download button, and bingo, you've got it in your downloads folder. Our Diggin' for Sports Data handout. These are just websites, kind of like our Diggin' for Data exercise earlier in the semester. These are different websites where you can go and find data about sporting events. Now, some of you are sports fans, some of you aren't. Some of you follow a certain sport and not others. So there's something in here really for everybody on this assignment. There's TV ratings for sporting events. You can dig up attendance for past sporting events. Anybody can do these types of graphics. You don't necessarily have to be a sports fan. But these sites right here, Pro Football Reference, College Football Reference, College Basketball Reference, Pro Basketball Reference, Baseball Reference, are really good resources to go to download data sets about players. There's a little bit of salary information up there. There's attendance data, other things, team data, things like that. So I'm going to open one up here. I'm going to open up Baseball Reference right here. And this is Baseball Reference. It's got everything from the last season out here, the 2021 standings. And, they have more than 22,000 major league players in their data listed in here. It's got some trending players, pages, things like that. All kinds of different statistics in here. The search field up here at the top allows you to search for a certain player. Let's type in Mike Trout. It's a big one for your generation. You guys all love Mike Trout. Center fielder for the California Angels, or Los Angeles Angels, I should say. They were the California Angels when I covered them. I used to cover Major League Baseball along with the NFL years ago, and I actually covered the Angels back when they were the Anaheim Angels. So the Los Angeles Angels, here we go. Mike Trout. His stats are all listed down here in this nice table. I could use a scraper to scrape this out. But the fine folks at the reference sites, and this is true for Football Reference, Basketball Reference, all of them, Olympics reference, they have this nice little share and export button right here above the table. And you can download it, select Get as an Excel workbook, and it will download to your downloads folder. And I will go in here and grab it. And there's my Mike Trout data. It just says sports reference download. I'll actually rename this. I think it's a good thing to do and call it Trout. Now, it downloads as a XLS file, which is an Excel spreadsheet file. It may give you a little bit of trouble if you go to move it into Excel, but I'll just slide it over in there. It may ask you a question. Yeah, alert, the file extension. Go ahead and open it anyway. Click yes, and there we have our Mike Trout data. Now, there's a lot of data in here. His age each year, is the team he played for, the league, number of games he played, number of runs he scored that year, at bats, hits, home runs, which is a good one to do, or RBI. So you can always take and just pull one of these stat columns out and focus on that instead of trying to visualize all this. This would be an absolute nightmare. So, if you're going to pull data on an individual player you're interested in, just go in, focus on whatever category it is, and then go into the software and see, okay, well, I'm in Google Flourish and I want to do a line chart of Mike Trout's home runs year by year. I should probably have it set up for a bar chart, column chart here. How should I have my data laid out? I should probably have Mike Trout or years over here and Mike Trout's name and all his data right here to have it work in a bar chart. Okay, so pretty easy to convert that spreadsheet. It's not that hard when you consider that all you have to do is delete out. You have the year and the number of data and just put his name up here. So really all you'd be cleaning is from here to here. Oops, I don't want the years too. Be cleaning from here to here. There we go. We'll just paint it across. It was being obnoxious. Yeah, it keeps taking the year out. That's really odd. Probably because of the header. I'll just delete it out the old school way. Just have to paint across and delete. Then I can delete everything after it. Drag across. And then just take out, knocked out a few of the years here too. You can also do delete columns. So I could go up here to delete at the top, or edit delete. And I'll just keep doing it for each column. It's not giving me much of a range. You also can just copy and paste these into a new Excel spreadsheet or a new Google Sheet. I put his name in up here since the old spreadsheet was giving me a hard time. Trout. And year goes here. And remember, these first two are totals and an average. So now you've got your data on Mike Trout, and you can turn this into a column chart. I'll save it. XLSX, which it should take just fine. And now go and load it. We'll see how we do here. And there's Mike's year-by-year home run totals. Okay, I would add my headline. I could add in a little text under here. A couple of sentences about Trout and his career. You know, what years was he MVP? Your footer will have the source, baseball-reference, and I would grab this exact page that the data comes from and drop that into Flourish under source URL. Hit return. Give it a working title up here. And there you go. You've got your graphic. Add your credit. And I can make it flush right if I want to, and I can change my color panel. If you want to, you can make it red or something like that. So just select a different color palette. Let's find a good red in here. There we go. And if you need to edit the color palette and you want to slide red up to the top, which is good Angel's color, there you go. Export, publish. And I'll take this one down because I've got a bunch of garble in there. And now we've got our graphic. You can download it as an image. What you'll do is you'll grab this link and you'll take it and you'll put it in a medium. Plus sign, and you guys know how to embed. Bingo. There's your Mike Trout graphic. You'll publish. Okay, you'll write about 300 words with it, 200 to 300 words. A little bit about his history, link off to relevant background information, and you've got the assignment. So go ahead and hit pause, read through the assignment sheet, and we'll get started back here in a few minutes. Okay, welcome back everybody. Now that we've demoed how to do the Mike Trout stats, we'll talk a little bit about the sports data assignment. Then I'm going to show you some examples, and then we'll do one more graphic exercise together just to make sure you have it down. So for this assignment, you can use Data Wrapper or Google Flourish. I just used Flourish for that one, but you can use Data Wrapper as well. You know how to use them both. This is just a different way of applying it. You can download a data set like I just did, and it could be on any sport or player. Or we have some practice data that's up in here, in this folder here, that you can take and use as well. Figure out, a line chart for probably Jordan statistics. Animated line chart would be good for Bonds, Sosa, McGuire. If you've created this one before when we did the Flourish exercise, don't repeat it. Because I'll catch you. The 100+ mile per hour pitches, that'd be a good bar chart or line chart. If you're feeling saucy, the women's 800 meter final from the Olympics would be a fun one to do. You could go back in to Google Flourish to do that one. And the template for that is down here under the Olympics ones, a sports race and pick athletics. It's a track meet one, and you'd have to do a little bit of editing with it to get it to work. I'd change the colors, of the runners to fit their uniform colors for their country, things like that. So there's some practice ones in here too that you can take and use for your assignment if you're having trouble finding something out on the web. So just so you know, it's there as a backup. That it's available to you. But a lot of students like to download their own data sets, and kind of pick something they're interested in. And at the bottom of your assignment sheet, which is due Friday, February 25th at noon, you'll do your graphic, 300 to 400 words of analysis. I think I said 200 earlier, but it's 300 to 400. And just remember, what we used for the math for journalists assignment, where we writing with data. Make sure you're looking up the sports entries in there to make sure you're handling the numbers correctly and things like that when you're in your writing. Down here at the bottom of the assignment, I've got some student projects and some professional projects too that have been built with some of these. These come from some of my Google trainings. Plus your rubric, how this is evaluated, is the same as all of our others. Does the graphic work? Does it make sense? AP style, spelling, grammar, accuracy, that type of thing. Did you write long enough? The 300 to 400 word range. So I'm going to show you some of these examples right here that are pretty cool. These are some from 2018. This was the Chicago Cubs yearly game results. The student went from 1920 all the way up to 2018. And of course, in the red is 2016 when they won it all. They won 103 games that year. You can kind of see, the years of futility that the Cubs had along the way, where they lost less than 500, or played under 500 baseball. And this student actually did two charts. She also did the attendance as well. Smaller attendance back here before Wrigley Field opened, and then when Wrigley opened here in the 40s, it began to go up. And Antonia, who now works in Major League Baseball, really went the extra mile with this one. Did a nice job. This student did a fun one too. Christopher Estrada. He did a stacked bar chart, in Forbes every year. Forbes magazine does the highest paid athlete, and there's a breakdown of their data and their income. And Floyd Money Mayweather, the boxer, he has a breakdown of this is his pay for prize fights, winnings, bonuses for fighting, and then endorsements. He doesn't make an awful lot on endorsements, but you can see over here, next highest paid is Lionel Messi, the soccer player. Ronaldo makes a lot off endorsements. Conor McGregor, not so much. Neymar, not so much. But LeBron does. LeBron's cleaned up. Roger Federer in tennis has a lot. Stephen Curry, and so on and so on. But he pulled this data out of Forbes. He also did it as a database, too. In Google Flourish, you have, the table list. So he did them as a list and as a bar chart, with a breakdown. This is a very clever way to do it. Short story with it, did a beautiful job. If you want to earn an A, you do something like this. And again, you don't have to be a huge sports fan to look at salaries of athletes, and be able to list them. It's a business story. This is one on Cubs attendance that Kevin Sherman did. This one's new number of PGA Tour wins by Tiger Woods. Student was a big golf fan, and he did the bar chart. Tiger had some pretty lean years there, but he won a few early in his career. Look at home run totals here. This was Jimmy Butler and the Minnesota Timberwolves, how he scored for him when he was first traded there. We were all very sad in Chicago when we lost him. TV ratings of the Summer Olympics from 1972 to 2016. This is kind of cool. Not a wide range in here, but there's enough that you can see this little dip here and around the 2012 games to the 2016 games. Keep in mind the Winter Olympics are in here as well. They tend to draw a little less. Number of goals scored in the World Cup from 1930 up to 2018, which is kind of cool to see that. So there's some really cool ones in here. You can go through and kind of find some inspiration. This other one came from some Notre Dame students that I had years ago. I did a class down there in sports data. And this is NHL goals scored once they went to the curved hockey stick. They started curving hockey sticks. It was actually born here in Chicago. Stan Mikita, who skated for the Blackhawks, started to bend the end of the hockey stick, curved it using heat and a little blowtorch. And it, the goal scoring in the league, skyrocketed. This student also did a thing on goalies using the butterfly goalie technique and things like that. This was a student's breakdown on rushing and passing stats for Andrew Luck, who's no longer in the league. Attendance drops in the WNBA. It'd be fun to look at the Chicago Sky's attendance and see if it's gone back up since they started playing quite well. Patrick Kane's stats. This was points, assists, and goals over the years. Simple line chart. This student actually did a Google map of where all the Indiana-based Major League Baseball players are from. It was kind of interesting. We're not working with Google Maps yet, but it's kind of cool. So anyway, there's some good examples there as well. And there's others that I have on the assignment as well from Pensacola, Florida, and the Denver Post. So some really fun examples there. Let me see if there's any others in here. Yeah, this is a fun one. This is Chicago Blackhawks salaries. The student did it as a simple pie chart. You see Taze and Kane take a good chunk of the salaries in 2016, 2017. She kind of grouped the smaller salaries together as other, but she did the top players here. These were the higher paid players. Seabrook, who was grossly overpaid. Duncan Keith, and so on, Hossa and the others. Looked at Taze points per season. His numbers had dipped quite a bit. They actually went up a little bit before he got sick. White Sox attendance figures, which was fun to look at. She did this in the millions. Major League Baseball pitches over 100 mile an hour. You actually have this data set. So you've got a lot of choices here. Choose wisely. Again, don't overthink it. Keep it simple. That Mike Trout chart that I just built for you was pretty basic stuff. I'm going to show you in Data Wrapper how to do another one, and this is that Barry Bonds data that I just showed you to download right at the beginning of the video. Go in and hit Create New Chart. And if you want to play along at home, you can hit the Upload button. And I'll go into the Downloads area, and there's the Barry Bonds data. Check and make sure the data is clean. I got my headers, all that. First row is label, which they are. Hit proceed. You could do this as a line chart. It works a little bit better as a column chart. It's pretty basic. I'm going to choose orange. He spent a good chunk of his career with the San Francisco Giants, a little bit with the Marlins and the Pirates early on. On hover. And just put my title on it. I almost typed Bobby Bonds, who's Barry's father. And then I would write a couple of sentences in here. Data source is baseball reference. And I will go find that page real quick. You'll probably already have it up. There he is, Barry Bonds. I created it. And if I wanted to highlight one element, I'd probably highlight 2001, which was the year he broke the Major League Baseball home run record, which is what I would put up here in the description. I would also bring up the steroid era, that he was on steroids when he had 73 home runs that year. I could put text annotations in here. I could draw a little line to it. I could highlight his range, kind of right through here if I wanted to. Probably wouldn't, but because I think just highlighting this one really does it. You don't have to highlight it like this, but I think it's kind of a good thing to do that. I want people to be able to embed it and download the link and share it on social media channels. Hit proceed, publish. And grab that link, and I'm ready to go. There's my graphic. Bingo. It pops right in. Sometimes it's a little hit and miss with graphics. When we did Data Wrapper a couple of weeks ago, it embedded it in this little box. Sometimes it gets a little quirky and does that. Other times the graphic will just pop in like this. Okay. And then, boom, we publish. We're good to go. Make sure you put your keywords in, and you got your graphic. That's all there is to it. So, make sure that you've read through the Digging for Data handout. You've read through the assignment very closely. And if you need any help, just reach out to me. It's no problem. And make sure you have this done by Friday, February 25th at noon. Tweet it to the UIC Digital hashtag. Tweet the Medium post there. And then get started on your Google Trends assignment, which is due that Monday, the 28th at noon. All right. If you have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, have a good one. Take care.